Hello, Leo. Welcome to Dove and Serpent Tarot. My name is Paul. If Leo is your sun, moon, or rising sign, this is your tarot card reading. Remember to hit the like button, leave a comment, consider subscribing to the channel, especially if this reading resonates with you. If there is anything you would like me to pray over or meditate upon or send positive energy toward, please let me know. Now, this is going to be a general reading, so try to be open and receptive to whatever may come through during our time together. I am merely the messenger. And I ask you to connect directly with each of these cards and use your own intuition to take you beyond the details that I might provide. And remember, Leo, that the most important part of any tarot reading is you. Okay, so Prince of Cups. This is an energy that's really striving to be authentic. Okay, I think the initial message of this card is that there's some emotional issue that you need to communicate with someone, right? There's some feeling you have that you're just not saying, all right? And I think that primarily that's what that card is about, but we'll put it into some context and see what else is going on. This card's also about being honest in the way we express ourselves generally, right? Kind of the authenticity in the way we live our lives, the things that we create, the words that we say, the way we live, right? Trying to be as true to ourselves as possible. Yeah. Let's see what else is going on here. Let's do the rest of our cards here. We've got a 9 of Cups. That's very good energy. We've got the Adjustment card, the Magician. Now we've got a Queen of Cups. Okay. And we have a Knight of Swords. A lot of court cards right here. We have a Hanged Man, a 7 of Wands, the Hierophant, and the Tower. Okay. Tower. I feel like there's something happening in your life, and it's kind of like you need to tell somebody. You need to make the announcement. And I wonder if it's something that you've not yet told your family or your friends or your significant other or whatever, something that you haven't, I don't know, publicly announced. But it's kind of like you're making big changes in your life, and you need to kind of express that. You need to make the announcement, so to speak, right? We have the court cards here, which tell me that there are other people that are affected by the decisions that you make. The Tower here at the end, this is saying that, this is a really intense period of time for you. This is a lot of energy that's about to be unleashed, okay? So I think that you're making a big change in your life right now. And it kind of, we see that with the blues, just the color palette, right? This kind of the blue colors. We start to get a little bit of a red tint, and then slowly works our way up here until it's just full red, fire, creative, passionate energy here with this Tower card. I think this Tower card is you kind of making your breakthrough, the breakout moment, the period of time, the moment really where you kind of you emerge into this new role, this new life, I don't know if it's a new job, if it's a new completely new life path, right? But I feel like it's kind of a quick move. Right. I think a lot of thought has gone into it, but I think we've yet to really talk about it. We've yet to perhaps put it into action because, again, what we see over here is a lot of air and water, and over here we even have water. Then we get some fire. Then we get some earth cards with the Hierophant being the Taurus earth energy, and the Tower kind of suggesting the earth energy or the movement of the earth a little bit. So tells me that this is kind of something that you've been thinking about and feeling for a long time. Now it's time to go on and do it. Yeah. Let's select the mystery card, bonus card, confirmation card. This is a random card from the Smith-Waite Tarot. This is the factor infinite and unknown. We're just going to put it down over here. We're going to put Alien Simon Mork Ripley right on top. We're not going to look at that card until the very end. It will tie everything together. If you have a prediction for the card, put it in the comments, all right? Very good. Let's take a look around the room. We do have some good major arcana, quite a few. We have the Magician, we have Adjustment, we have Hanged Man, Hierophant, and Tower. I feel like you're going through the gamut of thoughts and emotions here. At times you feel as if, yes, this is the right move. I'm going to do it. Here we go. I'm just about ready. And then the next moment it's like, well, maybe not. I kind of feel that this, the adjustment card here is us kind of being on the fence about it. We're still kind of weighing it out internally. Even though I feel like everything is as good as it's going to get for you, I feel like the energy is very much aligned for you right now. And we have to, of course, kind of, well, with the Hanged Man, I feel like we have to surrender to the force of this energy, this momentum, this creative will, this inspiration. The will is here with the Magician card. Okay. Now, I think that you have been learning something, developing something, refining some skills of your own. Okay. You've been, you've gone through a pretty extensive period of training for something. And I don't know if it's kind of just at home by yourself, you know, reading books and researching and YouTube videos and gaining a lot of knowledge, right? I feel as if it could be school or something like that too. It could be a more formal education. But I kind of, with the Hierophant here, I almost wonder if you reject formal education, because this is in the position of what you don't want. And so I feel as if you have a lot of knowledge, wisdom, skill, very, very intelligent. But I feel as if you have more self-directed learning, right? You tend to do better when you are seeking out knowledge and kind of going where the rabbit hole might lead you, rather than something maybe a little more formal with the Hierophant, you know, the kind of institutional education, right? I don't feel like you went that route. I feel like you're more self-directed. Yeah. But I feel like you've been preparing for something for a long time now. We have a big, quite a balance here between, you know, there's air energy, air, and then there's water. But and I call the Magician the air energy because it does kind of represent the mind, the powers of the mind, and the ability for us to concentrate our thoughts and efforts toward a particular goal. What brings it all together right in the middle is, of course, the Prince of Cups, which blends together the air and the water. So this is your heart and your mind that's really ready to go. You know in your heart what you're all about, and it's just a matter now of communicating it, expressing it, speaking it into a word, and that word is your truth, right? And that word becomes action, and that word becomes reality. And that word initiates this change. All you have to do is speak the word into existence, and this tower moment happens. And I feel as if there's, it's a situation that you've yet to communicate to your people. We have 3 court cards here that I don't know who they are, if they're friends, family, some kind of relative, loved ones, whatever it might be, coworkers. We have still some communication that needs to take place. But what are you doing? In particular, 9 of Cups. You're making a big change that is, you're going after these great goals in life. You're kind of, you're making a wish and you're going after it. And I think this is a really big, kind of a big deal for you. You're at a bit of a crossroads, at a threshold. Okay? And I feel as if this is something that you absolutely need to do because it is who you are. It is an expression of your authenticity. Now with the Prince of Cups here, this is someone who's striving to always live their truth. You're striving to just be kind of like what you see is what you get. Like, I'm always me. You know, when you're engaged in something, when you're with someone, you are yourself. You don't pretend to be someone else. You know what I mean? You don't pretend to be someone that you're not. And you're trying to, I think in a spiritual way, kind of as the spiritual work, the internal work, always strive to know yourself better so that you can live more authentically all the time, always improving, right? So I feel like the Prince of Cups here is really this, it's the intersection between your heart and your mind, right? Those two things have to be in perfect alignment, perfect harmony, in order for you to manifest whatever you have set your thoughts on, whatever you've directed your willpower toward, let's say. Because back to the Magician energy, you have this intense ability to focus, to achieve, to commit. You're someone, it's like this is the method actor. This is somebody that completely immerses themselves in what they're doing until they live and breathe, they eat and sleep, whatever this thing is, right? And I feel like that's how they say the best way to learn a language is to go immerse yourself in that culture where that language is spoken. And you'll just naturally absorb it over time, right? I mean, it takes effort too, I'm sure. And so I feel like that's kind of what you've been doing. And now I don't know if this is a spiritual thing, a religious thing, or something for work, or I don't know what it is. But I feel like that's been your method, okay? And now it's really time to initiate this in your life, to make this big change. Yeah, to have this breakthrough moment. We call it a breakthrough with the Tower. I almost feel like it's breaking out. I feel like this is you, coming onto the scene in this new energy. This is really a big deal. Okay, it's really an intense alignment where you have your heart and your mind that are both in just such partnership, such alliance right now. We don't see this very often, right? Usually our heart wants something, our mind's kind of saying, well, maybe not, or it's the other way around. No, you've got just this perfect cross, perfect spiritual balance here of your heart and your mind. And I think it's really it's time for you to accept that here with this Hanged Man card. Accept the fact that you are, that things cannot get any better right now. That as far as your internal work goes, you're ready. Now it's just a matter of speaking the word and initiating this change for yourself. Now, I did say with the adjustment card here that we're kind of like this about things, right? We're not like this about what we want to do or why. The heart and the mind is still in perfect unity. I think what this kind of, what we're on the fence about is exactly how to go about doing this. How do we talk to people about it? How do we reveal this part of ourselves, or whatever it is you're doing? How do you do it, right? What's really the first step? See, we don't have a lot of earth energy here, and I think that's kind of the problem now. The problem isn't your motivation, the problem isn't kind of what to do or why you're doing it, but what's the first step, right? What do we have to do initially? So I think we should get some earth energy here with that mystery card. The clue might be in this Knight of Swords, because the Knight of Swords is very decisive action. This is very direct communication. This is not mincing words. This is not beating around the bush. This is try to express yourself as completely and as fully as you can using the fewest words. That's what this card is, right? And that's not easy to do, but I think that's the method. It's very short, very quick, very direct, but it explains everything, right? So this is that the method I think that you're being suggested is the right way forward. See, this is kind of the card that is going forward here. Now, back to the Nine of Cups. This is the pursuit of happiness. This is ultimate fulfillment. This again is you choosing to live a life that is fulfilling and meaningful. There's depth, there's richness, there's purpose here. Okay, and this is very, very nice. Of course, we have the double water here with the Queen of Cups. There might be something going on with a maternal energy in your life. I'm getting a little bit of a mom vibe somewhere. And maybe a B name for mom. But I feel like there's something there. There's some issue that needs to be worked out with mom, right? I don't know if mom's still with us or if she's transitioned to spirit yet. But there's some issue there, and maybe that's where the communication is. And mom is kind of behind a veil. I feel like this is a person in your life that was never very open with their emotions, right? The veiled Queen of Cups. It was difficult to read this person. It was difficult to understand how they felt about things, and I feel like this is now, it has influenced you a little bit, where it's been a challenge for you to not also live behind a veil. And I think that's why now we've got the Prince of Cups here front and center, because you're trying to not be behind the veil. You're trying to be very clear about your feelings, right? very clear about your intentions, very clear about the way that you are going to be moving forward in your life. Over here with the Hanged Man, this is, of course, the acceptance of this energy. And it's kind of like we've created this perfect alignment of energy. Now the only thing left to do is to lean into it, is to fall backward, do the trust fall with the universe, is to kind of feel as if you've done your part, harmonizing yourself. Now it's just a matter of immersing yourself in the universe, and the universe can harmonize with you. So this is really the acceptance of the energy alignment as it is right now. Okay. But also with this card, I feel like, back to the mom energy, I feel as if this is you now kind of trying to put yourself in their position. So I think maybe mom has transitioned into spirit. And I think you kind of see yourself trending toward the same veiled emotional life that this mother figure, it could be an older sibling, I don't know who it is, but I'm getting a mom vibe. And I kind of see that we're leaning into a little bit of that veiled emotional life too. And this, I think, is us trying to see things from that other person's perspective and understanding maybe why they were a little bit veiled in how they expressed their feelings, how they communicated their internal state to the external world, which is, of course, what that Prince of Cups is trying to do, right? So this really could be, a very spiritual reading about a relationship with the mother energy. This could be really talking about some conversation that you have to have with your significant other, okay? The Seven of Wands that we see in the position of the environment, it's not going to be an easy thing. There's something here that I think is going to be, it's going to affect other people in your life. And maybe the issue is with the Hanged Man that we don't know exactly how it's going to affect other people. You're making a big decision for you. This is something you need to do. You're absolutely certain you've got that cross, within you of your heart and your mind perfectly balanced, but you don't know exactly how other people are going to receive the news, right? And so we're kind of expecting a bit of a challenge. We're expecting it to have to be a fight. We're expecting to have to defend our position or defend our decision. Okay, and there might be some of that. It's better to be prepared for that and then be pleasantly surprised than to be caught off guard, right? If other people aren't receiving the news all that well. But what we also have to do in combination with the Hanged Man is, of course, try to look at different perspectives, right? Try to just kind of spin around a little bit and see how other people might be affected by this big decision that you're making, right? The Hierophant here is what we're rejecting, and I think that this is probably why there's been any kind of turmoil at all, is because what you're doing goes against the norm. It goes against the grain. It goes against maybe what's been expected of you your whole life, or it goes against the way you've always been. The kinds of decisions you've always made. Then suddenly you're doing a 180, or suddenly you're making like a 90-degree turn. People are going to be like, well, that's out of character for you, right? But that's a good thing, we get in these grooves, these habits of behavior, and we start to define ourselves by our behaviors. I always do the same thing. When I'm confronted with two options, it's very predictable which option I'm going to choose, right? Because I've always kind of chosen stuff like that. But now suddenly you're doing something drastically different than what you normally do. People are going to take notice, right? It's going to seem out of the ordinary. It's going to seem like you're doing a complete 180, or you're just making a really, really abrupt 90-degree turn, But you're going against the grain. You're going against what maybe your lifelong habits, I'm starting to lose my voice again, what your lifelong habits have been, okay? And there's nothing wrong with that. In fact, I think that's the way of the magician here, to expand the powers, expand the mind, expand your consciousness. Right? The magician understands how to manipulate, how to take advantage of the plasticity of our minds, of our souls. Right? It's not by doing the same thing over and over and over again. It's by constantly seeking novelty, constantly going against the grain, or taking those 90-degree turns. That's how we expand. That's how we grow. I gotta chill a little bit. I'm gonna have a sip of my water here. Okay. We're just getting over a chest cold in the house here, and my voice, I don't know if you've been watching the readings, my voice has gone out. It's come back, it's gone out again, now it's kind of in between somewhere. Also, if you are not subscribed to the channel, please go subscribe. And if you are subscribed, go check to make sure you're still subscribed, because there have been reports of people who thought they were already subbed to the channel and then come to find out that YouTube had unsubscribed them or whatever. However that works, I don't know. So go double check that you're subscribed to the channel, all right? I appreciate that very, very much. It's a battle. It's a struggle. I'm in my own 7 of Wands here, just trying to remain in the algorithm so these readings can reach everybody that needs to see them, okay? Now, the final card, that Tower card, that is really a life-changing moment. This is, I think, this is when all of this gets put into action. And I don't think this is a bad card in any way. I don't think this is any kind of disaster or calamity. I do think that it is going to be a very quick process. It's going to be a lot of change very quickly. Because again, I think you're doing either the 180 or you're making a real sharp, 90-degree turn in life. And I think a lot of things are changing. A lot of things are going to be different from this moment on. But this is the culmination of all of this intense energy when it finally gets put into action. Let's see about that mystery card, if that's going to be the action, right? I would like either some more fire energy or some earth energy. If you have a prediction, put it in the comments. There's the earth, King of Pentacles. King of Pentacles is fixed earth energy. So despite all of this change, now you think about all of this chaos going on, right? All of this, everything's changing. You've completely upended your life and you've done this 180 or 90 degrees or whatever. You're still sitting firm and calm and steady and committed. You're not moving, right? It's you are still. You have this perfect stillness. The world around you is changing drastically, right? This is a very good card, and it is a card of action, but it's also a card of stillness, right? Sometimes we get this card and we think that's too much stillness, right? We need more movement. I think this is the perfect complement to the Tower card, that even though all of this is going on around you, you're not wavering in your commitment. You are still firm in your beliefs and committed to this process and to this, whatever this big shift is. Yeah, this is really extraordinary. We're going to do an extended reading. If you want to stick around, there's a link up top. There's one down below. New readings for Leo every Tuesday and Saturday, 6 a.m. Chicago time. Again, if you haven't subscribed, please go subscribe. If you have, check to make sure you're still subscribed, all right? Leave a comment. Let me know where in the world you're watching from. I want you to know that you're the most important part of Dove and Serpent Tarot. I thank you and I love you, and we're all in this together.